And good morning, Tobago. Good morning to the world. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, the last day of this week. Yes. And of course, the 3rd of December. Hey, you're up your life. Don't take that for granted. Give God thanks for life, the fact that you're in the land of the living. And of course, hey, show the children love. This is their time, right? Christmas. I'm still waiting for a daisy from them fellas. And maybe next week, after election, we go get into the Christmas mode. But anyway, I am not waiting for no election. I into the spirit already. But anyway, love, love, love to our children and, of course, the parents and the people who take care of these children. For those who, really don't have anything to get by this morning, and if you are a neighbor and you know, and while you're having your breakfast, think, I wonder how they make out over there, boy. All right, let me find out and so on and offer what you can. All right? So this morning we do have, we will speak with Farley Augustine. He is the candidate for, or deputy political leader of the PDP, and the candidate for Lansomi Speyside and, Speyside and Charlottesville. So we'll speak to him, and then later on we'll speak with Mrs. Marcelin Melville Jack, candidate for Scarborough Mount Grace. And that will take up most of this morning. We are supposed to do a poll. And I have done so many polls. And the polls leading up to election. Remember, NACTA did their poll, right? So we would do our poll here. But the poll is supposed to be who you're voting for. PNM, whatever party. And we are PNM, PDP. It's supposed that's how polls are done for election. So you have a feel as to what you're going for. Anything else? Really, I don't know. But anyway, so that's it. So much is happening. Obviously, COVID-19 numbers are going up still, people. And you have to exercise personal responsibility to ensure your safety, okay? So, this weekend, obviously, Christmas season. And again, you're going out to shop. Try and avoid using cash. If you're going to Trinidad, to Price Mart, because we Tobagonians, we don't have a Price Mart here. And when people ask me, Brother B, why do you have a Price Mart in Tobago? I say, they ain't gonna last so long. They're gonna close down because we don't have people. And that's an issue that nobody's speaking about. People is what makes business or any economy thrive. If you look around on the busiest day in Tobago, you hardly see maybe 1,000 people pass. So at the end of the day, we need to invest in people. The biggest countries in the world, America has this lottery system to get more people in the country, and they overwhelm with people. Canada does the same, and they understand that. We don't understand that up to now. And the last time a politician spoke about a baby boom, offering to mothers to make children and so on. Yes, Kamala Prasad says, I remember that. I was on radio then. And then people turn it into that political thing. And then they say she's only talking to her own people and so on. But we in Tobago didn't say, hey, we really do have people, every day people migrating and so on. People are dying COVID-19. And we are not trying to fill the gap by some way, whether we allow people in through migration or making babies, yeah? All right, so that's it. All right, so we do have, wasn't sure what was said to me earlier. Do we have news if we do? All right, no news this morning, so we have Tobago Notes. So let's take in Tobago Notes, and when we come back, let's move.
Competition. It can help build self-esteem, teach valuable life skills, and positively shape a child's life. Without it, athletes won't advance or achieve their goals. That's something Irvin's Golf Academy is trying to foster among the youth in Tobago through the first drive, chip and putt tournament. The academy also invited other clubs to participate.
To encourage the kids who play golf in Tobago to show their skill and talent and to represent their club in competing for the chip, drive and putt competition in Tobago. Chris Macmillan Club, also Let's Learn Golf Tobago Club join us in the drive, chip and putt competition.
Miss Irvin said that golf is dear to her heart. She sees it as a great tourism brand. The Tobago House of Assembly, through the Business Development Unit, BDU, is supporting the development of the island's kids. The BDU provided a grant to the academy, and Miss Irvin is grateful for their assistance.
The loan helped greatly by helping me to get equipment for the club. As you know, golf equipment is really hard in the Caribbean to access. So I was able to get the equipment that is needed to further the development and the skills and the play of the children in Tobago and my club.
The top performers of the competition were rewarded at a prize-giving ceremony. Ms. Irvin says this will encourage them by fostering their competitive spirit.
The prize giving is to encourage the children to participate in the sport, especially to be sport-oriented, teamwork, as well as to learn the discipline in the sport.
The tournament was held at the Mount Irving Golf Course.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
All right, so, well, of course, on a Friday, I always advise you to eat healthy, and of course, try to, well, I am not having any meat until Christmas Eve night, yeah. I've been on a no meat drive, you know, I'm staying away from meat. So yesterday I went to the drugstore and saw it, and then, you know, that talk came up, and I was getting my vitamins and my zinc and thing, right? And the girl said, she was talking about that. I said, so, I'm not having any meat and so on, and I'm having fish. She said, no, that is flesh, and so on, and to stay away from all flesh. But I don't know, I'm not a vegan, so those are the people who don't eat any flesh at all. But I'm not a vegetarian. I stay away from meat when I'm trying to maintain, and of course, as I said, that rigid exercise that you require to do, that you should do on a daily basis, as often as you can. The stage in your life, you know, if you're over 50 and so on, like Francis turned 50 the other day, he need to understand that his body is not as what it was when he was 25. So you have to understand that you have to maintain it and keep it healthy, yeah, and so on. So, so no meat up until Christmas and thing, and of course, you know, me and the pork. So we had the pork of have a battle and so on. All right, so we have a break, guys. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah. Phone lines open. Yeah, he's mumbling, so you got to speak firmly so I could hear you. But anyway, all right. So the lines are open, but not yet for the poll. But we'll hear from you. So at the end of the day, yeah. So. You know, and really, we could ignore Christmas, right? And the Christmas memories that would live with me forever, because as I tell you, we grew up in an era when everybody flower spot was red. I don't know if you know that the flower spot was flower's pan, or a paint pan, or a picture pan that they cut in half. And we as children had to paint them red. The step was red, and the house didn't paint, and that sort of thing, and it wasn't sealed, and so on. But we had to do that as boys. By now, the cock would have been caught, yeah? Yeah, he'd have been purging out and so on. And Patrick and I, yeah, we had to catch the cock on the grapefruit tree. Francis, you will know about that too, you see, grow up like we, and so on. So in the night, we get the bully fay, and we had to hold the bully fay a kind of time when we get close to that big, and that grapefruit tree was a pink grapefruit. Oh God, nothing sweet so. And when he died, I cried, yeah, because it was a really nice fruit that we enjoyed and so on. But anyhow, so in the night, we would sneak up for that cock. Hey, quite up there and so on in the night and thing. And if we make a grab and we miss it, well, we ain't catching here again. And so we go try again during the day, throw some corn with a big lasso, and he go come up with all the hen and them that he control in the yard. No other cock can come in the yard because he's the badger and he keeping all, he want all the women for himself. But anyhow, so he would come up and try to, and he would, you know, he warning them, you know, he telling them, hey, let me go and examine this thing and so on. But the lasso, if we ain't get the lasso, we call Hollis and them, Sippy and them, and Carlo and them, and they would come and help we catch the cat, the dog with the dog, catch the cock with the dogs and so on. And we catch the cock and we tie him up and we purge him out, yeah? And then so we would cook that for, or that would roast with a piece of pork, a piece of some kidney from the cow, and we'll bake that in the dot oven. Oh, gum. You know, I'm smelling it all now. And that would be our traditional recipe. All the Georges around in the then is not there. We just do that every Christmas Eve, yeah. And that's my brother must be laughing, Kelvin and them, everybody. Sean, my nephew, and all of them and so on. So we know that. All right, let's take the call. And that's just to bring the Christmas spirit because I ain't get us to our parang yet, right? Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Brother B, we are living in a country called Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
The population is mixed. It's Indians and Africans. Mm-hmm. Indians approximately 41 point something %. and Africans is maybe about 40 point something %. But we are united islands, and the way the PM is trying to divide and bring in race in this thing. Look at the commercials they are pushing. Look at the narrative they are pushing. But it's not right. It's not right. I only hope to be Ghanaians. Hold your head high. Hold your head high to be Ghanaians. When they go to the polls on Monday, vote them out. Vote out the PNM.
All right.
They are too disrespectful. They are too disrespectful.
Okay. All right. Well, don't let your pressure go up, and people can get emotional. Of course, we're hearing that frustration from him. Let me caution you. You want to live after. And let me tell you, for those who are preparing to win, prepare to lose in the same breath, because that's the reality. That's the reality. Those who are preparing to win, prepare to lose as well. And so bring yourself to that reality, that you got to live after this election. People take this thing personal and fall out with people and get emotional and get sick, blood pressure go up and all kind of story. Hello, we need you around after this election. Regardless who wins, we all have to live here. Let's take a call. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Brother B.
Morning, sir.
As I say, we have to live. I'm glad. I'm learning that 3 of the $250,000 project will be started in my electoral district this morning. So I am talking to the young men and young women.
Yes.
You have families to feed. Mm-hmm. Christmas is coming.
Yes.
They are offering work. Go out, accept the work.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs the money, because we know after with these rising numbers from COVID, we expect a lockdown after the election.
Mm-hmm.
Since the numbers is rising rapidly.
Yeah.
But it's your constitutional right to earn employment, to earn wages.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to the polls, just vote out the PNM. Take the job, take the money. It's not PNM job or PNM money. It's the patrimony of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Very good.
Vote wisely and vote for the Progressive Democratic Patriots.
All right, and tell people not to get emotional over this. You hear calm, and that's I recognize young white people are there, and you hear calm and collective. So I'm cautioning you people who take this thing, so personal. Some of you have reasons to be that way because there's a lot at stake, and so I can't really tell you that. However, you have to maintain your health. You want to live after this. There are some people who go into, all right, so let me use an example of how people, sometimes we don't pay attention to people hurt. And when we heard the rant from Shamari Hector and that posting of what he said, now you might ask yourself, why would he do that? But people deal with their hurt differently, right? There are people who would ball out. There were people who go in the bush. I remember when I had my first tabanka, I went in the bush and bawl and cry and and so on. That is how I dealt with my hurt. What you got there is maybe, and this is when we talk about people need sometimes, we take it for granted that they will be all right and so on. Who has ever went and find out how he's feeling and why he was rejected and the others who were rejected and so on. So that people respond in a particular way when they're hurting. Let's take a call. Good morning and welcome.
Please.
Good morning, caller. Caller? All right, so the caller is not ready. All right, so we're going to go for a break. And when we come back, lots more. See you then.
Our national borders, our first step to security, a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We announce the beginning of an October revolution in Trinidad and Tobago to defend the rights of citizens.
As you could see, on his way to Port of Spain, on reaching Philippines, at the opposition leader's private residence.
Well, Tobago, this is your time.
Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon.
The moves toward Tobago's independence was pushed by the Yellow Party.
Minutes to 12 and you expect to reach it.
I see the UNC in Trinidad dressing in black all of a sudden. All of a sudden the UNC dressing in black. You know why? That is attempting to send a subliminal message to you here in Tobago as to who they're supporting.
They oppose the PM in Trinidad, we oppose them in Tobago.
Give the PDP the East and the West seats. Let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession.
That is what a black is about, you know.
Shall prosper. No, it won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Mr. Duke was officially charged on Sunday with 1 count of rape and 4 counts of sexual assault. All charges were laid indictably, so he was not called upon to plead.
If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Watson Duke is breaking the law, and had he been in another country, maybe in jail.
Their pension plan is not registered with the central bank. For in another country, he would have been making a jail by now.
And send me back to the polls if I end up with people on my team who want to thief.
A High Court ordered audit of the finances of the Public Services Association has revealed overspending to the tunes of millions of dollars and other practices that are not in keeping with the constitution of the PSA.
I see the THA election coming back up, so we know Watson Duke going and thieving money again.
I want the listenership to understand something. Only 2 persons sign checks in the PSA. One is the primary signature of the president of the organization, which is Watson Duke.
I said, I will be the finance minister talking to you. You'll be talking to me as finance secretary.
And I wish rather that across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me.
We have a competition, so we say you can take a tongue, you can use a tongue, it looks totally hot. Take a look at that. Real hot by opposed to it.
And I wish rather that across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me. We have a bunch of Tobagonians who are sellouts, who are house slaves. If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Well, more workers have been sent home, but it's coming from the quarter which fights against terminations, dismissals, and the like.
Today, the PSA's executive would have made a decision to send home 20 of its office staff. We will be running a very tight ship, a very hard ship.
And I wish rather that for across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me.
We want independence from Trinidad. We must have our own Prime Minister in Tobago. We want our Chief Secretary stupidness. If it wasn't clear to you, let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession. We need to move away from Trinidad. I hate them.
And so let's make some noise and thank our political leader.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Tonight on Tobago Channel 5 and Trico Channel 100. Stay with us for all your live THA election coverage.
All right, so this weekend is the, what you call the home stretch for the election on Monday, which is the 6th of December. And of course, all the parties by now, should have everything in place as far as their campaigning is concerned. Obviously, they're going to put in the finishing touches. And on Sunday night at 12, they're supposed to take down their flags and all of that. On election day, you go out and exercise your franchise. No alcohol will be served. And of course, by now you should get your poll cards. And based on what the EBC is saying, you can vote without a poll card, walk with your ID, and of course, other identifications to ensure that you are the person who is going to vote and go and do or exercise your franchise, right? And vote, just vote, go out and vote. Remember, if there's and there are some people who take it for granted that, yeah, going out and vote, we don't win already. And the thing about that is that when you are not the only one who's saying that and actually does that, you have a low voter turnout, and then when your party lost, you say, oh God, if I didn't know, I'd have one vote might have saved my party. So go out, exercise your franchise. Let's take a call. Good morning, welcome.
Brother B, good morning to
Caller?
you, our listener and viewership.
I'm not hearing.
Good morning,
all right,
Brother B, to you, our listener and viewership.
Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, Brother B, I just want to say, I believe I have a great amount of responsibility to bring some peace, soberness, and mildness to the political environment in that, Brother B. At the end of the day, we have a very close friends, relatives, and loved ones on either side of the political divide.
Exactly.
And I just want to say, Brother B, I grew up in farming. And if you do not take care of the crop that you wish to nourish, the one that you do not wish to nourish will grow. And therefore, in that concept, the reason that the PDP has grown so much is that there is something the farmer was doing or the administrators that allowed another entity to flourish. And I just want us to understand, and I want to give our PNM friends the assurance that the PDP, to us, politics is sacred. It is a serious responsibility. It is one where you need to manage and organize the resources of the people. And our commitment is to take care of all and sundry in spite of your political affiliation.
Okay, thank you for that. And we could ask, he said manage the resources, right? I want to ask you though, I want to bring balance to the conversation and not to seem to be leaning on any side. When we get Fali here, of course, we're going to find out how they manage the resource, first priority and all of that. But at the end of the day, we have to ask, has the resources our resources, has it been managed well for the past 20 years? For those of you who agree, you could say yes and tell me why, and who don't, and they also you can say why. Let's take a call. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Brother B.
Morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, I want to ask Dr. Rowley and others, how long N.R. Robinson had taken to solve some of them corruption and thing that they're saying that the UNC did, right? In time in office, while it was in office, that they say UNC did. How long it taken to solve some of them crime or wherever, or corruption or wherever they say they had in the government, in the UNC government? How long it taken? We're going into 7 years now. Up to now, they can't show us as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. They cannot show us that is a fact that they bring them people guilty, so that we could open the people's eyes to say, well, yes, them people was corrupt. You're talking for 7 years, going on 7 years now. They're in power, right? Because the people, you're saying that the people corrupt. Every time election come around, you come with some nonsense to me, right? When people find shouldn't make no sense. Put the people in jail and let me know they're corrupt. You understand? I mean, if you bring them guilty,
like live sport and them thing you're talking about.
Yes.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Thing that you talk about in the election to get in there as a government. You understand what I mean?
All right.
That you show us that you get in there to put you in there as a government.
Okay.
Let me know.
Well, yeah, thank you. Here's a concern that I have, right? I mean, I hear you that, but so there's road paving, concrete casting roads, right? And some of them will not be finished, and there are people who are worried that after election, will those roads continue to be paved? We need the road paved, yes. Those areas that was, we thought would have never happened, it happened now. However, there are some of the roadways paved and not the rest of it. The election is on Monday, and there are residents in certain areas worried that it is half done, and maybe Kwesi could answer that, or well, whoever. Will that project be abandoned? Half the road isn't finished, it's not completed, and that's a real concern. And I think I am concerned about that as well. Let's take a call. Good morning and welcome.
Brother B, good morning to you.
Morning there.
And your members of staff and your listeners.
Yes.
Brother B, I always look forward to your program, and I want to say thanks for taking my call. I want to compliment you how you're looking today.
Thank you.
I love that outfit.
Yes.
Brother B, I'm a young person living in the country. I want to appeal to the voters and them, Brother B. Brother B, there are people in the country like myself, our house is leaking. Brother B, right now we have plenty rain up in the country for the past few days.
Where in the country?
Where
in the country?
Well, let me say Pembroke District, Brother B. Brother B, we catching water with bucket from the roof. Brother B, we apply for grants. And Brother B, up to now, nothing. I want to say to the voters out there, only let me go out and make a change now, please. Because it looks like if you don't go to a MP office, you're not getting no help, Brother B. I ain't lying to tell you, Brother B, we went up and down. No help, Brother B. Only young people, only let me please do something now. I ain't bashing nobody, party, Brother B. But I'm pleading this morning. Let me make a change where everybody go get an equal chance when coming to the social welfare system, when coming to the grants to be given out, Brother B.
Okay. All right. And all right, okay, so let me say good morning to my wife, Marilyn, again, because the other day I was in town there waiting with her and so on, and we saw a lady pass with some children, right? And the children are, like a step, and she saw the child. I said, oh God, I should have run and find out about that child, that parent and so on. But anyhow, further investigation, she tell me, Derek, that woman who passed the other day, she passed back again, and this time I stopped she and asked she about what help she need. Because you see the woman, now we understand our investigation and talking it, because I understand she from Bethel, she has 7 children. I saw another statistician did a story on her and so on and so on. And I'm asking about that kind of social intervention that is needed when we talk about every child is your child. She buy into that same concept, right? And she intervened. She could have put in place, but the woman was very thankful for the help. She made whatever call and got a hamper and so on. But the hamper would not be enough. This is where social welfare needs to step in. Find that family. And, they say, is she her husband and why? But listen, the circumstance requires an intervention. And so there are other families in Tobago that are suffering and needs intervention. Do your investigation and find them and see how best they can be assisted. And that's that. Anyway, let's take a call. Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, morning, Brother B.
Morning, sir.
I just talked about the paving program.
Yeah, will it continue?
Well, Brother B, it all depends on who gets into the office.
Oh my God! So wait now. So that is like a Albert Trust. So if the PNM get in,
what I'm saying, they have a road paving program that they're continuing to pave the road. So I'm saying whoever gets into the office, I'm not supposed to stop.
Okay.
I'm supposed to continue.
All right.
Because it's already laid out that the program, and it's ongoing. If it's going now, why it should stop after the election? It's not supposed to.
Well, we know, listen, because we are so accustomed to look at bone, and after election, the bone gone according to Penguin. So we're hoping that whoever goes into office, all you finish the route.
The road paving until it's done.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
And then the lady who's talking about the her roof leaking. In the settlement, they have forms for all those things, leaking roof, toilet outside, you want a toilet inside, they have all these things there. Tell them stop sitting down in the house and wanting to come to them.
Okay.
They have to get up
all right.
and go and make use of the things provided for them.
All right. So the assistant grant, and I must say that I know someone who benefited from the assistance grant to do the houses and so on. And based on the reports, and we heard other concerns, Brother B, I really can't. And when I don't want to point to any particular, but the division that is responsible under Mr. Jacob, they did get to assisting a number of people. There are people who benefited. If that lady did not get through, I don't know what would have prevented it. And in some cases, as much as they have a system in place that they will give you first trench in the grant, they come and see what you did, and then you provide all your bills, and then and so on. So I don't know if that lady did not get any assistance at all. And so on. So whoever wins those projects or those things that are assisting families to better their lives, then they should be continuing. All right. Okay, so when we come back from the break, we'll do the poll. And we have 4 parties in the race. So, we'll name them. And then you'll tell us about who you'll vote. We're doing our poll. All right, so see you after the break.
Visit Sew Amazing Limited for all your sewing machine needs. We supply, service and repair all types of sewing machines. We provide 2 weeks warranty on all service and repairs. Check us out at Unit 4, D Plaza Dutch Fort Scarborough, Tobago for our specialty Singer domestic heavy duty machines. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 309-6350 and 710-4749 or WhatsApp for technical assistance.
In these unsure financial times, protection of your hard-earned financial assets is a priority. We at MI4 Security Cash in Transit Service are sure to grant you peace of mind. Fully insured services. Call us today at 660-7723 or 635-2144. MI4 Security Services Company Limited, keeping Tobago safe.
Visit McCorney Home Depot Limited in Richmond in their spanking new and spacious showroom. Get all your hardware needs, building materials, including blocks, steel, cement, and sand, household items, plumbing and electrical supplies, paint, tools, toilet sets, doors, ceiling fans, steel products, and much more. McCorney Home Depot Limited in Richmond. Catering from foundation to finish. Open Sunday to Friday from 8 a.m.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We announce the beginning of an October revolution in Trinidad and Tobago to defend the rights of citizens.
As you could see, on his way to Port of Spain, on reaching Philippines, the opposition leaders' private residence.
Well, Tobago, this is your time.
Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon.
the moves toward Tobago's independence was pushed by the Yellow Party.
Minutes to 12 and he expected to reach
I see the UNC in Trinidad dressing in black all of a sudden. All of a sudden the UNC dressing in black. You know why? That is attempting to send a subliminal message to you here in Tobago as to who they're supporting.
They oppose the PM in Trinidad, we oppose them in Tobago.
Give the PDP the East and the West seats. Let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession.
That is what a black is about, you.
Shall prosper. No, it won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Mr. Duke was officially charged on Sunday with 1 count of rape and 4 counts of sexual assault. All charges were laid indictably, so he was not called upon to plead.
If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Watson Duke is breaking the law, and had he been in another country, may be in jail.
Their pension plan is not registered with the central bank. In another country, he would have been making a jail by now.
And send me back to the polls if I end up with people on my team who want to thief.
A High Court ordered audit of the finances of the Public Services Association has revealed overspending to the tunes of millions of dollars and other practices that are not in keeping with the constitution of the PSA.
You see the THA election coming back up, so we know what's in you going on thief with money again.
I want the listenership to understand something. Only 2 persons sign checks in the PSA. One is the primary signature of the president of the organization, which is Watson Duke.
And I wish rather that across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me.
We have a competition, so we say you can take a tongue, you can use a tongue, it looks totally hot. Take a look at that. Real hot by opposed to him.
And I wish rather that across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me. We have a bunch of Tobagonians who are sellouts, who are house slaves. If you are an honest politician, you must do something that is called a reflection.
Well, more workers have been sent home, but it's coming from the quarter which fights against terminations, dismissals, and the like.
Today, the PSA's executive would have made a decision to send home 20 of its office staff. We will be running a very tight ship, a very hard ship.
And I wish rather that across the region, across this country, that we have more politicians like me.
We want independence from Trinidad. We must have our own prime minister in Tobago. We want our chief secretary stupidness. If it wasn't clear to you, let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession. We need to move away from Trinidad. I hate them.
And so let's make some noise and thank our political leader.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5, for THA Elections 2021-2022. The Race for Power, Part 2.
All right, welcome back, and of course, let's acknowledge our viewers on Facebook and on Pulse 89.5 FM. We want to thank all of you. I'll get to some of your names in a while, but anyway, so our poll is not going to be who you're voting for, which should have created some excitement, and we'll have an idea. But anyway, we are dealing with will the COVID-19 cases keep you away from voting? Your calls are welcome. 6391, the numbers are 6351005, 6351412. All right, so the question is, will COVID-19 keep you away from voting? Answer yes or no. All right, let's go. Let's take a call. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother B. Good morning, Tobago.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to get COVID-19 in Jesus' name, because I have to vote PDP.
All right, so no. All right, that's one no. That would not keep you away. All right, so let's take your calls, and 6351005, 6351412. Will COVID-19 keep you away? Let's take a call. Good morning.
Hello, Brother B. Good morning to you and your team, and good morning to lovely Tobago, calling in from London.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad, thanks.
Yes.
I just want to say Monday is a really important day in the lives of Tobagonians.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in Tobago,
Mm-hmm.
but everywhere. We are clearly looking on and looking at all both sides. The one thing I have to say is that a new dawn, I hope, will come upon us.
Mm.
And for Tobagonians, what I want to say is that I hope that you vote wisely. You vote for our tomorrows, the tomorrows for our children and our children's children. I think so many things have been said about the PDP and Mr. Duke and everyone. But I just want to reach out to our overall leader. I've never been able to have the opportunity to speak with him when he's here in London. However, I just want to reach out to him to say that for some of the things that is happening on the ground in Tobago, for so much poverty that has been brought upon us, if you're a leader, you have to take responsibility for what is happening on the ground in Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I speak about Tobago and the things that where I'm seeing now, I would boast about those things not happening to us, but it's clearly happening now.
Mm-hmm.
So for people in Tobago, if you want to vote, you're voting for a better health care.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, but thank you, ma'am. And because you're calling from England, we allowed you. But however, we want to stay within the confines of the poll. And the question is, will the cases or the rise of cases of COVID-19 keep you away from the polls? Let's take your calls. Good morning. All right. And your calls are welcome. 6351005. Yes, good morning.
Yeah.
Will it keep you away?
No, sir, Brother B, COVID-19 will not.
All right, we're getting all right, so no. All right, so far, let's take your calls. 6351005, 6351412. Will COVID-19 keep you away from voting? Let's take your calls. Of course, we have a rise. Good morning, welcome. I lost that caller. And let's try again. 6351005, 6351412. Let's go. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Will it keep you away?
Morning.
Yes.
PDP also.
All right. But that's not the answer. But anyway, yes, let's take the calls. The question is on the screen. And let's take the calls, 6351005, 6351412. The question is on the screen. Let me repeat it. Will you stay away from the polls? Will COVID-19 keep you away from the polls? Let me repeat it again. And so let's take a call. Good morning, welcome. Yes or no? All right, we'll take your calls. 6351005, 635-1412. Let's take a call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes?
No.
No? All right. So far, well, I have to count. So far, 3 saying no, right? The question is on the screen. Let me repeat it. Will COVID-19 or will the rise in cases of COVID-19 keep you away from voting or from the polls on Monday? All right, 635. Let's take a call. Good morning. All right, lost that call. 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's take a call. What?
Good morning.
Yes?
Good morning.
Yes?
No, it will not keep me away. And PDP.
All right. 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's take your calls. And, of course, you know the question. And wait your calls. All right? So, yeah. All right. So, meanwhile, I'll wait on your calls. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
PDP all the way.
Pardon me?
PDP all the way.
But you know that said, well, I guess you said no. That wouldn't stop you. So, let's go. All right, so let me acknowledge some of you on Boris, Baines, and others while I wait on the call, 635-1005. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes?
No.
No. All right. Let's take your calls. We have one lineup. Let's go. 635-1005, 635-1412. Will COVID-19 cases or the rise in cases keep you away from the polls? Let's take a call.
Yes. Hello?
Yes?
Yes. It would not.
It would not. Oh, so she's saying no. All right. So nobody has said yes yet. But anyway, let's take your call, 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's hear from you. All right. Meanwhile, I wait on you, of course. Yeah, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah?
Morning. No, that wouldn't deter me.
It will not keep you away? I didn't hear him clearly. What did he say, guys? No, he said no. Okay, fine. Let's take your call, 635-1005, 635-1412. Your calls are welcome. I know you're smiling, right? Because, yeah. But anyway, let's go. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes?
No.
Thank you. 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's take your calls and let's hear from you. Will the cases of COVID-19 or the rising cases keep you away from the polls on Monday? Let's take a call. Good morning. Good morning. Caller?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah?
Right. No, it would not keep me away from the polls, PDP.
635-1005, 635-1412. Experience is something else. And so 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, brother. We know.
All right. So we see where this is going. Obviously, people are eager to go out and vote. We are taking your calls. And so far, nobody has said yes yet. They're saying no. The COVID-19 will not prevent them. Let's hear from you. Let's take one more. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was calling live for the poll that's happening right now.
Yes?
So I just wanted to say no.
No? Okay. All right. 635-1005, 635-1412. Your calls are welcome. Will the rise in cases keep you away from the polls? Let's hear from you. So far, let's take a call. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me, yes or no?
No, PDP.
All right. 635-1005, 635-1412. Your calls are welcome. And so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 is 14. Yeah. All right. 635-1005, 635-1412. So far, no, and guys, you will let me know. Yeah, let's take one. Good morning.
Yes, brother B.
No.
No.
All right. 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's hear from you. Will COVID-19 cases or the rise in cases keep you away from the polls? Of course, hearing numbers rising in Tobago here. And let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, yes.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, it will keep you away?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's one yes. All right, 635-1005, 635-1412. Let's take your calls. And, 635-1005, 635-1412 for those of you on the radio. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, will it keep you away? Caller? Yes or no? Pardon me?
Yeah, the COVID is the PNM. We have to get rid of them. The PNM is the COVID.
I don't know how to count that, whether that is a yes or a no, but that's spoiled by us. But anyway, so you see where people want to go, right? And that's my experience, right? 635-1005, 635-1412. Your calls are welcome. Let's go. Let's take your calls, but I'm here to follow instructions, right? All right. Let's hear from you. Will COVID-19 keep you away? Yeah. So we ended it? That's it? One more. Let's take one more. Good morning. Obviously, it's going in a particular way. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome. Caller? All right. Okay. All right, guys. So basically, people are saying no. And tell you, one last caller. Good morning and welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes?
Good morning, Brother B, and good morning to the people of Tobago.
Yes?
So I am phoning from the diaspora. Hopefully you can permit me a few minutes.
Give me the last call, but that wouldn't keep you away from anyway, right? Because we could wrap that up anyway. Yes, finish. Yeah. Which part of the diaspora are you calling from?
I'm actually phoning from Canada.
Oh yeah? Where part? Winnipeg?
No, I am out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, all right. Are you calling? Yes.
You know, I mean, we are blessed this time of the year. We have no snow on the ground, so I do say that we're having a good winter so far.
And you know why I laugh about Calgary, right?
Why?
But my brother lives in Calgary, yeah, and is there any link to that, why you called?
Well, the thing is, I consider myself, a daughter of the soil, and, during this election period, I have been following both parties, the PNM and the PDP.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that, I'm really impressed with the persons on the PDP side in terms of the vision that they have for Tobago. I mean, I do have a lot of families left in Tobago. I mean, my father is still there. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but his name is Leonard Daniel, otherwise known as Tanner.
Okay. We know Tanner, yes, and your brother is...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to phone in this morning and just say hello, and then I'm wishing the PDP best on their journey.
All right.
I do believe that that political party has the answer for Tobago.
Very good.
Thank you for your time, and have a good rest of your day.
And the next time we're going to Banff. The next time I come, we're going to Banff.
Definitely, for sure. Have a good rest of your day.
And thank you. And of course,
Okay, goodbye.
All right, then. Thank you. And so that would end the poll. Obviously, it's a landslide for no. Everybody's going out on vote. But just to tell you that we are all over the world. We want to thank you from there in Calgary, Alberta. And if you have never been to Banff, and I know there are people from Crown Point who knows what I'm talking about. And I tell you, boy, that park that you have to pay to enter, just like, and there's a fall in Banff. And there's so many things to see there and so on. If you have never been, it's a really wonderful place to visit and so on. Calgary, Alberta. Anyway, love up. All right? And of course, I still can't forget my Winnipeg. That's where I spend a lot of time and so on. But anyway. All right, so we go for the break. When we come back, our guest should be here, I suspect, yes? And we'll have our conversation. And thank you, my dear, from Calgary, Alberta, and wherever else in the world, England, United States, all over the States and varying parts, in Switzerland, Germany, wherever you are, Grover and the rest of the team down there in Switzerland and Germany and all over, we want to thank you all for choosing us, and thank you, ma'am. With that, we go for the break. When we come back, lots more.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022, The Race for Power, Part 2.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We announce the beginning of an October revolution in Trinidad and Tobago to defend the rights of citizens.
As you could see, on his way to Port of Spain, on reaching Philippines, at the opposition leader's private residence.
Well, Tobago, this is your time.
Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon.
The moves towards Tobago's independence was pushed by the Yellow Party.
Minutes to 12 and he expects to reach it.
I see the UNC in Trinidad dressing in black all of a sudden. All of a sudden the UNC dressing in black. You know why? That is attempting to send a subliminal message to you here in Tobago as to who they're supporting.
They oppose the PM in Trinidad, we oppose them in Tobago.
Give the PDP the East and the West seats. Let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession.
That is what a black is about, you know.
Shall prosper. No, it won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
All the monies raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists is about $200 billion. Remember that, right? But as part of the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, $200 million comes towards you from you. The salaries alone paid to the people of Tobago in the Tobago House of Assembly is $700 million. Goods and services is another $580 million. Subsidies and transfers is another $650 million. And of course, you have development programs, $260 million. And URP, which is make work, help you out because you can't find a job and so on. That's another $25 million. When you add up all of that, as what you get as a result of being an integral part of the nation, as compared to your 200 million, you see right away that you are better off being an integral part of the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. And that's not all you know. Various government ministries spend money to service Tobago. That's another $788 million. The operation of the sea bridge, it's another $600 million. And of course, the cost of those two ferries, $1.2 billion. We're spending $1 billion building you a modern terminal building at the airport to be able to handle international traffic. All the monies raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists is about $200 billion. Remember that, right? So, I just mentioned those numbers so you can understand these people who are talking about secession and independence. What exactly are they offering you?
Take no chance. Protect your future. On December 6th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
To vote is simple. The Elections and Boundaries Commission advises that before Election Day, you should receive your poll card in the mail. Open it to find the address of your polling station. Keep the poll card safe and take it with you on Election Day. If you did not receive your poll card in the mail, you can still vote. A poll card will be prepared for you at your polling station. You can also visit the EBC's website at www.ebctt.com or call the hotlines at 785-8206 or 785-8211 to find your polling station. On Election Day, remember to take along your mask. Wearing a face mask is the law. You should check the list posted outside your polling station for your name and number. Where there are several polling stations on the same compound, an information officer will direct you to your polling station. Polling agents who act on behalf of the candidates are there to witness the process. Before you enter the polling station, you must sanitize. If your name is on the list of electors and you have a valid ID card, you should join the green line. ID cards that have expired and those that will expire soon are valid until December 31st, 2021. All other persons, including physically incapacitated, blind or visually impaired persons, should join the red line. You will be required to lower your mask. The poll clerks must compare the elector's face with the picture on the ID card or in the unit register. You are required to sign your poll card in front of the poll clerk. The deputy presiding officer examines your hands and fingers, and if there is no evidence of electoral ink stains, issues a ballot paper. The deputy presiding officer also demonstrates how to mark and fold a ballot paper using the guidance ballot and how to vote with the X stamp. You will be given a sanitized X stamp along with your ballot paper. The ballot paper should be folded to display the initials of the deputy presiding officer and the polling station number. A blind, visually impaired or physically incapacitated person is allowed to vote with the assistance of a companion. In the privacy of the voting booth, you vote by placing an X at the right of your candidate's symbol. If you make a mark other than an X, your ballot will be rejected and not counted. Fold your ballot paper as you were previously directed by the deputy presiding officer and proceed to the officer in charge of the ballot box. Take the X stamp with you to be sanitized at the officer in charge of the ballot box. At the officer in charge of the ballot box, leave the X stamp in the container for sanitizing. Hand sanitizer is also provided for you before dipping your finger in the electoral ink. Display your folded ballot paper with the initials of the deputy presiding officer and polling station number. You will be required to dip your finger in the electoral ink before you are allowed to place your ballot paper in the ballot box. If you refuse to immerse your finger in the electoral ink, you will not be allowed to vote. When you've finished with this process, wipe your finger on the disposable paper towel and discard it in the bin. Any problem you encounter in the polling station should be brought to the attention of the presiding officer. To vote is your right. Exercise it. A message from the Elections and Boundaries Commission, your partners in democracy.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Tobagonians, owning a parcel of land is almost every Tobagonian's dream. They are saying they will provide 2,000 lots for Tobagonians, for you. But let's go back to basics and do the maths. In 20 years, they developed 116 lots in Coreland and 44 lots in Bell Garden. a total of 160 lots. Lots they cannot even give out. 20 years, 160 lots, that's 8 lots per year. Yes, 8 lots. At this rate, it will take them 250 years to fulfill this promise. Yes, 10 generations. Scarborough, Mount Grace. Leave the empty promises. Leave games and old talk behind. Vote Trevor Williamson James for better performance. Vote PDP for action, for a future where your dreams are fulfilled now.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Tonight on Tobago Channel 5 and Trico Channel 100. Stay with us for all your live THA election coverage.
All right, so in a few minutes we will be joined by Farley Augustine, and of course we will have a conversation with him. And then later on we will speak with Maslin Melville Jack, and of course just to give you, she is the candidate for Scarborough, Mount Grace, and of course Farley Augustine, the candidate for Speyside, Lansome. And of course we'll have a conversation given that this is the weekend leading up to Monday's election, and we'll get so much, we're supposed to speak about so many issues, obviously. And, somebody said to me, better be look the PDP fighting in Port Mall. Of course, we're going to find out what really happened or what transpired. And based on the information I get, we'll hear from him. A police officer was trying to make an arrest, and he was, you can't interfere with an officer making an arrest. You too. And the fight ensued, and we all saw it on the video, and we'll get more information on that. All right, so, and there are so many other things that are confronting Tobago. Of course, you heard, from our foreign visitors or foreign listeners, those in Canada and England and so on, and they have an interest in a change and so on. And then we heard a caller said that basically saying that if we want to ensure that the roads are finished paved, then we have to be careful who we put there. And then I asked, of course, we spoke about shouldn't that be a matter that needs to be done, regardless of who's in office. And this is the point I was trying to make. Also, you had on the PNM side 2 outlandish behaviors that are not necessarily in keeping with what the party would expect. One from Shamari Hector, and one from the Wim Morris, who went to some workplace and having a discussion with workers, and it's tantamount to maybe intimidating. So on both sides there are issues that needs fleshing out and so on. But we are getting ready now for Farley Augustine as soon as he's settled, and we'll get into that. And of course first on we just want clarity on that, and we get into so many other issues that are confronting us. Obviously the whole question of Tobago self-governance issue that in my view, never really took, the platform as priority. You hear they speak about it and so on, but we get into that. All right, so as soon as we are ready, I'm waiting on my cue to welcome our guest, Farley Augustine, who is very busy. Obviously, we understand why. And are we ready, guys? Yes? All right, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Very good.
My 3rd interview for the morning.
Third?
So from Magdalena to Mount Turvin to Signal Hill, and I have a 4th one after this. So we're just making the rounds this morning.
Very good. And how you been keeping healthy? And on Friday I advise people to eat. You have to take your vitamins. You have to fight with COVID and protection and the sleepless nights. How you been keeping healthy though?
Well, I have not been getting much of the sleep part because of course a lot of work and you're trying to make the most of every 24 hours. Mm-hmm. For me though, I rest every Friday evening and all day Saturday, and so because I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, so that gives me an added plus. I eat healthy. I did some checkup. I went to the Blue Room, the men health clinic, about a week and a half ago, and did some The pressure was good, sugar excellent, you know, all the blood work, everything was on par.
Very good.
So that's that, and you know, it's, if you keep the body healthy, chances are the mind will work healthily as well.
All right,
yes.
let's go. All right, let's get into it. Obviously, let's deal with what happened on the mall. Really, we want to hear from you. We saw a police officer. We understand that, but what really happened? We saw PDP supporters and a person with a jersey fighting with the guy in the white, which is really the officer. Tell us about. We are sorting out something there with Mike. We'll get that response from him in a minute, and we'll move on to
what?
All right.
Yeah, what? First of all, no PDP official was there, so there wasn't an official PDP event. People were just on the mall, and of course, supporters, non-supporters. Once people have a hand on a political jersey, they'll wait in any season. And this person is a supporter of the party, no doubt. What the information we are receiving is that the gentleman saw the gentleman in white having a scuffle with a lady. So there's a lady a part of the whole thing. He did not know that the gentleman in white was a police officer, and he intervened thinking that it was just an ordinary gentleman taking advantage of a woman.
Oh, okay.
And of course, that led to more than a scuffle and a lot of fist passing. Maybe one of the programs we have to initiate is some boxing, you know, so people could put their energies to use. I heard the ACP nurse saying that is a matter that they're investigating.
Okay.
So I hope, you know, they investigate it, and I believe the law and the justice system will work itself out.
Very good. All right, let's go into the center of the controversy in this election is the zip line, and Tracy Davidson decided to suing you for statements that you quoted from the Auditor General report on the zip line. And of course, we heard from the Prime Minister, we noticed you're not saying anything on that. Now, you're saying that you're 7 days and you're Christian, and you wouldn't necessarily tell lies. You said that on one of your platforms.
Sure. Not necessarily. I have no motivation to lie.
All right. So, how do you feel about, do you regret making that statement? That
Absolutely not, and I'll make it again. In fact, the Prime Minister and Mrs. Davidson Celestine have been disingenuous about the whole matter. Since January, she said she will sue me. Since January, she sent me pre-action protocol letters, and I told her go to court because she's wasting her time. Mrs. Davidson Celestine waited until after the election was called to file a writ in the High Court. Now, I found out about it from a bailiff who called and said, boy, somebody want to serve you something from John Jeremy Chambers, Law Chambers. But every bailiff in Tobago said they're not taking it and they're not serving you at all. All the bailiffs and them refused to serve it. I then proceeded to call a lawyer of mine and I asked the lawyer to contact John Jeremy's law firm, which we did. And if she's honest, she will attest to that. It was my lawyer who contacted them, and then that's how we received the writ. When we received it on a Friday, the court case was due on a Monday. So naturally, the natural thing to do was to ask for extension, because if you receive it on a Friday, you have to prepare a response for Monday. The natural thing is to ask for the extension so that you have sufficient time to respond. But what they did is that they attempted to put the matter before court just before the election. Because if it's before court, guess what? They can't talk about something that's before the court.
We have to take a quick break, an emergency break. We'll be right back quickly.
Visit So Amazing Limited for all your sewing machine needs. We supply, service and repair all types of sewing machines. We provide 2 weeks warranty on all service and repairs. Check us out at Unit 4, D Plaza Dutch Fort Scarborough, Tobago for our specialty Singer domestic heavy duty machines. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 309-6350 and 710-4749 or WhatsApp for technical assistance.
When you need electronics, find what you want quickly at Ted Electronics. We have tons of brand name items in smartphones, tablets, LCD and smart TVs, headphones and speakers. For the best in electronics, check Ted. Amazing service and the lowest prices guaranteed. Located upstairs Moosehead Plaza, Bethany Road, Tobago. Ted Electronics, your ideal choice for electronics.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We announce the beginning of an October revolution in Trinidad and Tobago to defend the rights of citizens.
As you could see, on his way to Port of Spain, on reaching Philippines, at the opposition leader's private residence.
Well, Tobago, this is your time.
Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon.
The moves toward Tobago's
All right, welcome back. And of course, we apologize for that. And just to repeat, given that we had a little technical difficulty,
sure. I was making the point that Mrs. Davison Celestine, since January, sent me pre-action protocol letters. And I said to her in no uncertain term, go to court if you want to, because you can't beat me in court. Your case makes no sense. And I have no regrets of saying what I said, because someone has to be held accountable. Based on the THA Act 40 of 1996, a secretary is responsible for the general direction of the division she's in charge of. Mrs. Davison Celestine waited until after an election was called to then serve a high court writ. I learned of it from a bailiff who called to say, boy, somebody trying to serve it from John Jeremy Chambers, and all the bailiffs in Tobago refusing to take up the matter to serve, to bring the writ to you. I then instructed a lawyer to get on to John Jeremy, which he did. And on a Friday afternoon, we received the writ. So we received the writ because I sent for the writ. The case was on Monday. So natural thing to do was to ask for extension in order to give a proper response. But what Tobagoans must understand is that to file the writ during the election period, as she did, is to try to find a way to silence me on the matter. Because if the matter is before court, it's sub judice, as it's said. You can't speak about it. So it's not because I don't want to speak about it. And you have heard others from my platform speak about it. Why? Because the writ is against me, it's not against the PDP. And so anybody else can speak about it.
Very good. All right. So let's go forward. And another, you just on the ad there, we heard you saying that aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Where did that come from? And is there any alliance with the UNC?
And what Tobago is seeing is the greatest piece of deception on the planet. How people campaign is when they plan to govern. These people are liars. And what they are doing is taking very unrelated items and creating a patchwork to create an ad. In that statement, I was making the point that the PNM keeps trying to align the PDP with the UNC, because aligning the PDP with the UNC is a weapon that they hope to use to win an election. So guess what? They cut off piece of the statement, right? Put in Pisa, Kamlan, them who in some other basa down in Trinidad unrelated to Tobago. They find some image with Kamlan them in black and patch it in and create a whole patchwork. And it's that sort of slanderous propaganda that Tobago politics has gone to. Mr. Robinson is probably rolling in his grave right now. So is Dr. Murray. Every politician on this island at worth this sort is probably uneasy because our politics has never gone to such low levels of slanderous propaganda, of creating mischief. Where are the issues? What are they campaigning on? You have been in power for 21 years. But what have you done? We have not seen a single ad from them detailing what they have done over the last 21 years. They can't even campaign on a track record because their track record is quite faulty. And that is symptomatic of how they govern. Deceptions, lies, corruption, and that's how they have managed their affairs over the last 21 years. But guess what? It's not going to work, Brother B. And what's interesting is that PNM could find millions upon millions of dollars to plaster ads on every television station in the country, every radio station in the country. But you could not find money to give people access to grants and so on time. That is a sign of where the priority lies. They believe in their party above the country and above people.
Okay, well, let's deal with some of your issues that dealing with people. And as you mentioned it, let's deal with that. Of course, you spoke about land for the landless. And let's talk about the distribution of lands too. And based on YT's statement, Mr. Pollard, the people need a hand up, another hand out. In distributing the lands, state lands that are there, Speyside has an issue with lands that belong to some estate up to now. People can't get deeds and so on.
I spoke about that recently.
Let's deal with the distribution of lands. As far as your leadership is concerned, how do you intend to equitably distribute these lands that for people who can't, or land for the landless?
Well, if you're talking land for the landless, we are starting with those who are most needy among us. Not those who can afford lands on the private market, but those who are most in need. They must get first preference. The THA is the single largest landholder on the island. It's something we have boasted about for quite a while. But having the land assets, having it all in bush, and not finding ways to monetize it and allowing our residents, our citizens, to live comfortably is an indictment on the THA. Over the last 21 years, the THA on average did about 11 homes per year. That is an abysmal track record. And we understand that on the market for land and housing in Trinidad and Tobago, well, in Tobago in particular, it is extremely expensive. It is difficult. I did the research to get a mortgage for an average home, which may cost about 1.5 million. On average, you need a salary of almost $30,000 to be able to qualify for one of those mortgages. To get land at a cost of around $536,000 require a salary of just over $10,000. That is way outside of the range of most Tobagonians. And so what we have proposed time and time again is a land and housing trust that will look favorably towards taking state lands, putting in the road infrastructure, putting in water, lights, telecommunications, cutting it up, letting that be our subvention to the people, and giving you a land layer bill. When they give Tobagonians land to build, the salary could be small, so just find a way to build some mansion, to kata buy one pallet of bricks now, a pallet of cement there, piece of lumber there, and get the thing done. And that's the approach.
Let me point to right in your constituency, Speyside, and that piece of land there. That is belonging to the owner of that estate still.
And I have made a pledge.
Let's talk about how you intend to treat with that.
Well, I made a pledge to the community yet again on Sunday that should I become Chief Secretary, that estate will be purchased. That estate that is known as the Morales Estate, formerly known as the McDonald Estate, really known as the Trois-Rivières Estate, 3 rivers in French, on which Speyside High School is located, the playing field is built. We are going to acquire that entire estate to help with all this squatting that's happening there. People are there without access to lights and running water because they don't have ownership. If we purchase the estate, we can do 2 things. We can regularize those who are currently there. We can manage road infrastructure through the estate. And thirdly, we can actually ensure we preserve the environment there, because we don't want a situation where squatters come in and squat all over the estate, and then the aesthetic of the village, when they're coming down and they see the nice greenery, that is now changed, and then you're now susceptible to things like floods and landslides and so on. So there's a health and safety issue too, why we must purchase that estate. And I also gave the pledge to purchase the one what we call Lau Estate, which is on the other end of the village, where we have the water wheel. That is not yet in state ownership. And
it is in state ownership?
No, that is not owned by the state. It's still on private land.
Private land,
and I mean, everybody goes to the water wheel.
I tell you.
So what are we waiting for to own such a valuable historical asset? And I made those 2 pledges to the community of Speyside.
All right. Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go to, well, it's more or less the controversy. I'm mixing the...
Sure.
I'm mixing...
You go right.
Let's go now to the Watson Duke presence and some of the statements that he would have made, that there are those who are saying, looking on, that he's hurting this young, brilliant mind, given some say he's a loose cannon. But let's deal with the PSA issues that he's confronted with Auditor General report, the monies that accountability issues, and you are still supporting him with matters that are interests of the state, and I'm putting it that way. How do you respond to people saying that, and he's using you as the footstool to eventually become Prime Minister of Tobago? We are dealing with the secession issue. That statement was made. So let's put it in perspective.
You have spoken to several things there, right?
Yeah, but I'm putting it in perspective.
Number one, nobody uses Fali Chavez Augustine.
And you emphasize on Chavez.
And I emphasize on the Chavez.
Yes.
Number two, I have been consistent on the PSA issue, very consistent. I've said quite consistently. In fact, in March, as recent as March, I stood on the Palatine jetty and was doing an interview there. And the media asked, and I said, look, if all of these people are saying that there are issues in PSA that they have evidence of, go to the police and let the chips fall where they may. I hold no brief for Mr. Duke. I am not here as Mr. Duke's protector or defender. Mr. Duke is capable of protecting and defending himself. I've also said that what is quite interesting is that the court ordered this auditing of PSA last year around January. PSA had elections around sometime in November last year. The audit came out. The court approved of the audit. The only thing I saw highlighted in a Guardian article from that audit is that they overspent their budget by some 6.3 million, I believe, over a period of about 4 or 5 years. Overspending one's budget is not in and of itself a criminal offense. As of July this year, nationally, we overspent by some 30 plus million. That doesn't mean that Imbert stole some money, right? And I've said, where are the tangible examples of this corruption you're talking about? I would like to see it. But more than that, if you have it, I would like for you to take it to the police and let the police treat with it. Now, switching to the other issue you asked about, which is the issue of secession.
Secession, yes.
Do
you want secession?
No.
And is it the PDP's mantra?
No,
is it part of the culture? Is it part of the what the vision is?
No, it's not. And I could tell you how that came about. In October of 2019, Mr. Duke, on a platform in Magdalena, was making the point, look, we have been asking for this autonomy for so long and then taking we on. Maybe if we ask for secession, we'll get it now. Maybe if we ask for the whole thing, somebody will perk up and start to listen. That's the context in which he raised it. At that time, he set off a firestorm of debate. In fact, I came here, I spoke about it. The party internally had debates about it. So as a responsible party, we sat down, we debated across the table. And naturally, the party is a microcosm of the larger society. Right here in Tobago, there are some people who believe we should go independent. Right here in Tobago, there are some people who believe things good as they are. Right here in Tobago, there are some people who believe that we require more autonomy, like I do. And so what we did, we debated internally, and we looked at what Tobagonians were saying they wanted. And we have been saying Tobago wants a federal type system. Tobago wants significant devolution of power. What our opponents have been doing is that they have been taking those things that Tobago said they want and say those things mean secession. Tobagonians say you must define Tobago. They say that is secession. Tobagonians say that they must have access and legislative control over their waters. They say that means secession. Tobagonians say that they must have control over their lands and that must not reside in any central government. They say that means secession. So what they're in fact telling Tobagonians is that all the things Tobagonians say they want is secession, and that's a lie. Because when you look at countries around the world, you look at United Kingdom, for example, there is a formula for sharing of energy resources, for sharing the wealth from energy resources between Scotland and the rest of the United Kingdom. Scotland passes its own laws, but Scotland has not seceded from the United Kingdom.
All right, Mr. Fali, I'm getting the wind up, and you just use this opportunity to make your final appeal, and I wish you all the best.
Listen, we have just, 2 days before the election, just this weekend before having the election, and Tobago has an opportunity to pivot away from the madness we have seen over the last 21 years. I've been saying to Tobagonians that we can make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And I want you Tobagonians to actually believe that. I want you to believe it with all your heart. I want you to look at how we can achieve that. We spent the last couple weeks going through in great details, sector by sector, idea by idea, of how we can make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And we need you to join us and let we fix this. Not let Farley fix it, not let PDP fix it, but let we, Tobago, the collective, we the people, fix it. Because when we the people stand together, we can fix anything, and we can move mountains. And Tobago can become the next textbook example of how development should occur in post-colonial small island states.
Okay. All right, we want to thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, for some of the technical difficulties, we apologize. But that, all the best to you, my brother. And of course, we want to thank you for being here. Sure. All right, we go for a break. When we come back, we speak with Miss Marcelin Melville Jack. See you after the break.
Be viewing Tobago Channel 5 for the live broadcast of the Tobago Methodist Circuit this Sunday and every Sunday at 9 a.m. as they bring God into our homes.
Greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, our soon and coming King. I am Minister Cassandra Powder, here to encourage you to dare to be different. Think the unthinkable, for we serve a God that has no limits, no boundaries. It's time to elevate.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We announce the beginning of an October revolution in Trinidad and Tobago to defend the rights of citizens.
As you could see, on his way to Port of Spain, on reaching Philippines, at the opposition leaders' private residence.
Well, Tobago, this is your time.
Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon. Us aligning with the UNC is a political weapon.
The moves toward Tobago's independence was pushed by the Yellow Party.
Minutes to 12 and you expect to reach them.
I see the UNC in Trinidad dressing in black all of a sudden. All of a sudden the UNC dressing in black. You know why? That is attempting to send a subliminal message to you here in Tobago as to who they're supporting.
They oppose the PM in Trinidad, we oppose them in Tobago.
Give the PDP the East and the West seats. Let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession.
That is what a black is about, you know.
Shall prosper. No, it won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
All the monies raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists is about $200 million. Remember that, right? But as part of the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, $200 million comes towards you from you. The salaries alone paid to the people of Tobago in the Tobago House of Assembly is $700 million. Goods and services is another $580 million. Subsidies and transfers is another $650 million. And of course, you have development programs, $260 million. In URP, which is make work, help you out because you can't find a job and so on. That's another $25 million. When you add up all of that, as what you get as a result of being an integral part of the nation, as compared to your 200 million, you see right away that you are better off being an integral part of the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. And that's not all you know. Various government ministries spend money to service Tobago. That's another $788 million. The operation of the sea bridge, it's another $600 million. And of course, the cost of those two ferries, $1.2 billion. We're spending $1 billion building you a modern terminal building at the airport to be able to handle international traffic. All the money is raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists. It's about $200 billion. Remember that, right? So, I just mentioned those numbers so you can understand these people who are talking about secession and independence. What exactly are they offering you?
Take no chance. Protect your future. On December 6th, vote PNM. Great.
All right, welcome back. And of course, we are here with, joining us on set is Mrs. Marcelin Melville Jack, candidate for Scarborough Mount Grace. Good morning and welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, Brother B, and good morning to all of Trinidad and Tobago who are listening and viewing. Special shout out to my people of Scarborough Mount Grace and my youthful, energetic campaign team who I know are locked on.
Very good, all right. And we do have viewers all over the world,
yes.
England, Canada, and the rest of the places.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into it. Of course, let's get from you the demarcation of your district. We know the configuration as a, well, you were Cutler Hall, Scarborough Cutler Hall, now it's Mount Grace, Scarborough. Let's get the demarcations.
Okay, so Scarborough Mount Grace now entails part of Darrell Spring. Actually, Darrell Spring Road separates Scarborough Mount Grace from Darrell Spring Wim, the road itself. So if you live on the right-hand side, you're in Scarborough Mount Grace. If you're on the left-hand side, you're in Darrell Spring Wim. Mm-hmm. It also includes parts of Logwood Park, all of Calder Hall, Sergeant Kane, Mount Grace, Government House Road, Harmony Hall, and my special area, Grugu Patch.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go in Grugu Patch as you mentioned that, because that has been a challenge there. The roads, electricity, lack of electricity, water, and all the basic needs that the residents there, and I'm sure you're confronted it with your walkabout. And tell us why it is your favorite place before you get into the issues that you will be having to address if you become successful.
Well, it's my favorite place because the people have really embraced me, and I have already started looking at individual needs. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you that already we have street lights in Grugu Patch. They are already fully equipped with water. Every house has running water. And the entrance to the road that was really, really rough, we've been able to at least pave it so that the vehicles can get in and out of Grugu Patch, a little easier. And really and truly, the people in there are so loving that they just warm my heart, and I just feel ready. And willing to represent them. Yes.
All right, so let's examine and let's find out. You being a former teacher, school teacher, you taught at Bishop's and you were principal at the Mason Hall Secondary School. There is a story about you that was, you were given praise for your astuteness in responding to a special child who is now an agriculturist. And you know of whom I speak.
Yes.
And he's internally grateful for you responding and giving him the land that made him the farmer that he is today, and that's young Mr. Arthur.
Yes, Daryl.
Daryl Arthur. Let's talk about you responding to youth, and that's a fine example of what you did then as a teacher. You recognize that this child has a passion for this. So let's talk about what you are confronted with youth and how ready are you to respond to their needs?
Well, being a former educator, compassion has to be part of what you do. And the students at Mason Hall Secondary School, all of them, they can attest to the fact that I've always encouraged them to be more than. I've always tried to empower them. And that young agriculturist in particular, we started by giving him a portion of land at the school to ply, I would say, his trade, even after he left school. And he was so grateful. When you saw his produce, he would give us and we would say, no, we are starting your business, so we want to ensure that we buy those produce. And today I am so proud that he's one of the largest farmers at Belmont Farm Road, and I want to encourage all young people to become more. And you can do that by just having a dream, a passion, and his passion was agriculture. And he didn't just sit and wait. He did something about it. He started small, and he ended up the way he is today.
I tell you. All right, so let's examine, given that's your track record, let's talk about what you're confronted with by youth in your district, in the electoral district that you are intending to represent. What are you confronted with, and how do you see you offering that same kind of support that would have led that young man to the success? Talk to us from that standpoint.
So the major issues among youth in Scarborough Mount Grace is that of employment. And I am willing to try to empower all of them to understand that once you have a passion, you can actually become your own employer. I have realized that so many of them are talented. I can tell you right now, I've seen some masonry work by some of the young men in Grugupatch in particular. And I am amazed at, what they can do. So I will try now to get them to form themselves into a company and try to help them with advice as far as business is concerned, so that they can now try to get some of the contracts that are out there, generating wealth for themselves and creating employment for others.
All right, so let's follow another track record of yours, given that you were secretary, treated with the road show and taking entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And let's take the lady with the making the household items, the bed sheets and so on. And there are a number of seamstresses. I always use the example, as you break tea and take corner and you come around there, there's a lady on that right side there. I don't know if you go there and purchase your dresses and so on. However, that's a lady or a manufacturer or a garment into garment construction. So you have taken people who are entrepreneurs in Tobago to the world, Cuba and to Trinidad. Let's talk about those little talents and the dreamers that you spoke about and what you intend to do, given that you have done it before. But how do you intend to treat with that? By finding the right niche to guide them accordingly and to make them the millionaires that they deserve to be.
Well, we will set up in the electoral area a business mentorship project, a program that will take them from their dream to the realization of their dream. So it's not only training, but we will help them to access the funding that is required. We will also help them to market themselves. And now with COVID, you understand that it's not just enough to have a place and open a store. It's more about reaching the world. So that kind of training and marketing will be part of it. So we will hold their hands until they become sustainable.
All right, earlier you spoke about forming up, well, you didn't say cooperative, but and basically
Yes,
that's
a
what you're referring to. All right, so there are other skill sets that needs tapping into as they can realize their dream. But let's go into education. That's your forte.
Yes.
You have done it for all your years and so on. But let's bring COVID-19 and its challenges to parents who have to struggle, still are struggling for devices for their children. Let's say that schools are not able to open because of the rise in COVID now that we are facing the new variant and so on. In your vision, what needs to be done, ma'am, to treat with and to make sure that children get the requisite education at home or wherever that can accommodate devices and so on?
Right, okay. So if we are to start with the division itself of education, we were very proactive. I think even before Trinidad, in purchasing devices, and these devices were offered to students in need at all the schools, all the primary and secondary schools. In addition, many private donors came forth with devices, and it is the plan of the Division of Education, whether I'm back there or not, to purchase more devices so that we can continue assisting. In addition, connectivity seems to be the major issue.
Right.
Yeah? Because there are some areas in Tobago where students are unable to have predictable connection. So we are, at this time, speaking with our service providers to increase, the connectivity within communities, because we've done it within schools. It's not completed, but the fact that they may not be back at school in the short term, the communities are where we are laying our focus right now. So our service provider is working with us to ensure that that happens. But in some instances, MiFi devices are available. You can get that from the Division of Education as well. We've given devices to schools to assist, with the connectivity issues. So as far as I can see, that is our major issue, not the devices so much.
Okay, fine. Let's go to sport. Obviously, young people are, sport is part of what they gravitate to in some, whether it's professionally or otherwise. Mongrace and environ, Codler Hall, there's a playing field there that is the Hoville.
Eric Hoville.
Eric Hoville,
yes,
a guy
recreation
who, if he's on the other side and you say you're playing nonsense, he come over and fix you and so on. And of course, his name after that. Now, these grounds are there. And that particular ground does not necessarily have accommodation, pavilions, quote unquote, and of course access to it and use of it and so on. Is there any vision, in your vision, how do you see treating with that historical place where icon it is named after, in terms of getting the facilities to accommodate changing and that sort of thing at that Calder Hall space?
Yeah. Well, let me start off by saying Scarborough, Calder Hall, Mongrace have the finest footballers and sportsmen in Tobago. And I can say that without any doubt. And it is part of my vision for that ground to have some sort of pavilion. Now we know that the space is very limited and we do not want to encroach on the football field. So I envisage having an engineer coming and give us an idea of what we may have to lose in order to have a pavilion there. Because we understand when rain falls, when the sun is too hot, there is no shade. So in the short term, it seems as though we can put a canopy over the area where people sit. But in the long term, I would love to see a pavilion at the Calder Hall grounds.
Very good.
And at the Mongrace grounds, we intend to upgrade the grounds, put in bathroom facilities that are a little more convenient, and a cricket pitch. They have been asking for a cricket pitch and a children's play park adjacent because they have the room.
Excellent, because a big space, of course.
Yes, they have the
Let's
room.
talk scholarships, academic and sporting scholarships. Ms. Marcel Melville-Jack, you know how expensive it is to go to colleges and university abroad. And I want to revert to this. Obviously, we are lucky if we manage to get one of our bright students to get a national scholarship. Ms. James And you were very proud, and we all congratulate. That seems to be in the genes of the Jameses to be intellectuals and so on. But anyhow, there was a model by Hochoi Charles that was used that would have sent people to universities out of Tobago and so on. And they got the support financially and so on. From a sporting standpoint, let's say, let's speak to that. Whitey Pollard got a sporting scholarship, went abroad, and he's a better person today. Let's deal with sporting scholarships and academic scholarships, not necessarily relying on the national scholarship system. Is there any vision, any part of your vision as that to bring to fruition?
Well, even now as we speak, Brother B, there is the Lalonde Gordon Scholarship within the youth and sports division. There is that available, and we intend, I can tell you, to ensure that scholarships are available in Tobago for Tobago sportsmen and women. As far as academics are concerned, I know that we have not had scholarships for a while, but the intention is to give scholarships to persons in the medical field. We want specialist medical fields. We are looking at the needs of Tobago today and tomorrow. So we intend from as early as next year to restart, I should say, giving scholarships to our Tobago students.
Very good.
In all fields of endeavor.
All right, let me bring you into Scarborough now. And of course, the PDP has a plan to construct and to create a city. Obviously, we need a cathedral for that labeling to really take precedent, to take place. But anyhow, but the vision is brilliant. The PNM is saying that they have a counter. I don't want to say counter. You would fix me. Put it right. Because for those who are looking on and say, we came up with the idea of making a city. However, that's part of your constituency.
Yes.
So let's talk about your vision for what Scarborough should look like 10 years from now.
All right. So let me first say, the city of Scarborough is not owned primarily by the government. You would find that many of the properties are private properties. So we cannot have a plan without first interacting with the owners of these properties to know whether or not you can access those properties. However, I can say that the People's National Movement has always had a plan for Scarborough, a plan to reintroduce Scarborough as that bright capital city that we knew it to be when we were young. And the plan for the Esplanade project has been on the books for a long time, even before elections. And it is going to get started from January of 2022. What I see also is the area from the Esplanade all the way down to, let's say, the Coast Guard base, sometimes during the month being just locked off. And it being a venue for a festive, I don't know, some kind of exercise that will bring entrepreneurs out, our cultural icons. So you have steel band one side, and people have a taste of Tobago. I think I want to call it that. A taste of Tobago, and we can have it like once a month where people get to come out, experience what is really Tobago. In addition,
so there'll be a boardwalk. That's what you've prepared.
Yes.
Okay.
But something that is closed off, and you have like a street festival once per month, which gives our entrepreneurs the opportunity to the show their products and have people experience what is truly Tobago. Almost like the fish festival in Oistins in Barbados, something that people can look forward to. All right? What has been part of my dream also is a multi-story car park.
Where exactly you want that to be?
I am looking at Garden Side, where we have that.
All right. So that we have to pay for parking, as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I see nothing wrong with that, because what it does is that it provides the users of the city with security. You know what I mean? It also gives us space in the capital city so that we can do other things rather than have people parked all over the place.
Very good.
So I'm really, really interested
All right,
in
so
that.
a multi-story car park. Added to that, and of course that space, obviously, the others. All right, let me just bring a little focus too, because when I was a little boy, and I in Tong Long,
Yes.
I know Market Up Tong.
And I in Tong Long
Okay,
too.
right.
You know that.
All right, so let's come to Botanical Garden, the green space that was spoken to by the budget. There's money allocated for
Yes, yeah.
That green space, ma'am, is a waste of space given what it used to be then. It used to have fish, you have birds. We used to go there and spend time run about in Botanic Gardens. Any plans for your vision?
Well, you preempted me because that is also part of my plan, and you would see it on my portfolio. To return the Botanic Gardens to its original beauty.
Christine glow.
I know, everywhere you go in the world,
Yes.
the Botanic Gardens is a special feature of not just tourism, but for the local people to enjoy. You know, I can see us using the bandstand on Sunday afternoons, the families coming in and having picnics, you know, choirs entertaining, it's Christmas time. And you know, this is part of my plan. So the Botanic Gardens should be income generating as well. When those tourists come off that cruise ship, they walk to the Botanic Gardens and enjoy, just see all that Tobago is.
So aquarium, bird sanctuary.
Everything that is uniquely Tobago.
Should be there.
Fauna and flora.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So we get that from you, and and you're going forward. Now, you are the incumbent it's not Cutler Hall, Scarborough anymore.
Yes.
But what do you bring different? Given you outline a number of your vision and so on, but as we're getting ready to wrap, what would be first priority on your list? You said employment. Your leader said we're going to create 3,000 jobs for young people. The other side is saying that the assembly is overburdened. We have too many people employed, a gratis payment, and then whatever else. Give us overall in your closing as to what you bring differently, factoring in that 3,000 jobs for people.
Okay. Thank you. So, as I've said before, empowerment is my push, because at this point in time, I really believe that the residents of Scarborough, Mount Grace deserve, and I want to use the word deserve, okay? They deserve opportunities to uplift and empower themselves and their community. So whether it is that you are going to access a job or open a business, you're going to be the recipient of one of those starter homes, whether it is that you are going to go into agriculture or fishing or whatever it is, I will be providing that opportunity along with you to ensure that you are empowered to become sustainable. It is much more than just getting a job or early morning work. It's about becoming. And this is something that I am going to bring to the electoral district. There will be infrastructural improvements as well. Drainage is a problem all over Tobago, and that's one issue that we need to tackle urgently, as well as social interaction. I really believe that we are losing the sense of community. So I want to ensure that even in that electoral district, we have activities that will allow the community to participate and once again continue the process of raising our children.
And so important. All right. So let me ask you this. This is out, of course, you're closing now, and I want to thank you for that. But do you ever use the dialect? I mean, you are so well spoken. You master the English language, and you speak so well. Obviously, you're a teacher. But let me hear you close. You just say, "I go out and vote." Do you ever use the dialect?
Yes, I do. I do sometimes.
Well, just say something. Let me hear, because I never heard you use the dialect.
Well, Brother B, it's a little difficult, but my wife encouraged all Tobago for go out on Monday and vote. Vote the PNM. Vote Maslin Melville Jack, your girl. You know me from ever since. You understand? So don't make a mistake.
Very good. Well, me neither expect that out of your mouth,
It can.
No, and I really, really relish that, because you're so well spoken. and we know they, master the English language and speak well. You're a teacher, and that's what you taught for how many years?
Yes.
And so we know that's what, and so I really want to wish you all the best. And really give me a smile this morning. I really appreciate you, coming down to that level, and we really appreciate it. All right,
Thank you so
all
much,
the best
Brother B. Thank you so much, Trinidad and Tobago, and everyone in the world. Have a blessed day.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. We have any, we're just about a few more minutes before we wrap, but yes, we got to wrap. I have a closing statement that I use every day. Are you familiar? You embrace.
I have heard it, but really I don't remember.
Yeah, it's embrace the urgency of today, for
Yes.
tomorrow is a mystery.
Oh,
I give you,
yes.
given that you allow me to get that part of you out of you, I allow you to close Rise and Shine this morning using my closing phrase.
Say it one more time.
Embrace the urgency of today, for tomorrow is a mystery. Better be saying so long.
Embrace the urgency of today, because tomorrow is a mystery. This is Brother B and Marcelin Melville Jack saying so long.
I was like